Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Callie Green, and today's video is going to be a continuation of Air Force BMT. So I made a video already called What I Wish I Knew Before I Went to BMT, and that video really goes into detail about week 0 and week 1. In my opinion, those are the hardest couple of weeks because mentally, physically, emotionally, it's a completely different lifestyle. Like you're just like in a little culture shock. Your routine is completely different. Your body is physically being challenged every single day. Emotionally, you're missing your family. You're like, what did I sign up for? Those 2 weeks are really just adjusting, and like in your head you're like, what is like going on right now, you know what I'm saying? But then week 2 comes around, and for me, that's when BMT started flying. Week 2 through the end of BMT went by super fast. That's when like more things started happening, and I was really on a good schedule, and everything was kind of more routine after that. So 2 things that I did not put in that video that I wish I did know before BMT is about the Aim High app and the Sandbox app. So these are 2 apps that I 100% recommend you tell your family and friends to download before you go to BMT. So the Aim High app is where your family can track pictures of you that are being taken in BMT. So there's going to be photographers in BMT taking pictures of you doing PT, marching, getting shots, going to the gas chamber, things like that. And the Aim High app has a section that says basic military training, and your family can type in your flight number and all of your pictures are going to show up right there. It's not going to be just of you, but all of your flight's pictures are going to show up right there. So I thought that was pretty cool that my mom could see what I was doing throughout BMT. And then the Sandbox app is a quicker way for you to get letters. So it doesn't involve the postal system, USPS, anything like that. It's literally an app where your family can type up a letter and send you a picture or whatever they want, and they're going to send it in. And someone at Lackland actually is gonna package up the letters for you, and you're gonna get it either the same day or the next day. So you don't have to worry about your mail getting there 2 weeks later or not getting there. Like, you're literally gonna get it the same day or the next day. So 100% tell your families to download Sandbox. I think it does cost money. I don't know how much it costs, but it's 100% the best way to get mail in BMT. All right, now let's get straight into the rest of BMT. This video is probably gonna be a lot longer because I'm going really into detail about 5.5 weeks of BMT, but let's get straight into week 2. So what I didn't realize is that a lot of BMT is like sitting in class. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was gonna be doing push-ups and sit-ups all day, but really like a lot of the time you're just sitting in class learning about things. So today I'm actually going to be following the Air Force's website. The Air Force has a schedule on their website of BMT, and I'm gonna be following that, and some of it's actually wrong, or it was different for me, so I'm gonna tell you my experience and what all the things on this website mean. I am gonna link this below if you want to get a good idea of what to expect before BMT, or if you wanna follow along with me in this video. All right, so it says during week 2, you get an ID card issue. So you do get a CAT card in BMT. You get to go take a picture. It's gonna be the worst picture you've ever taken. I just wanna tell you that right now. It's not gonna be cute because you're like marching for 30 minutes and then you go take your picture, and you don't have makeup or anything. So the picture's pretty rough, but you go take your picture. We didn't get our CACs in week 2. We got our CACs, I think like week 4. So I guess that's depending on whenever the place is done making your CACs. So most of week 2 was really either marching, doing PT, or going to class. So this list on their website shows you what classes you'll be taking each week. Also on week 2, it says you're gonna be getting your recruit living area appraisal. So another thing that you're gonna be graded for in BMT is how your bed is made, how your clothes are folded, and how your wall locker looks as a whole. And that is something that you do need to pass BMT, but week 2 I think was just like a PC, just like an appraisal. It wasn't the actual one that you needed to pass BMT, but they are gonna be checking your area and teaching you how to fold and do everything properly. I remember week 2 being when we really started like PT and stuff like that. Like the first 2 weeks, I just remember like we just weren't working out. Like I think they had to wait for like all of our like blood tests and like everything to come back to make sure like we're okay to start working out. But week 2 was when we really started doing PT every single day. So I'm probably gonna do a more detailed video about like PT and stuff in BMT, but mainly some days you do CIT training and some days you do strength endurance training. That's it. All right, so that's pretty much it for week 2. Was really a pretty chill week, just going to class and stuff. Week 3 was really pretty similar. Like it was just chill. During those 2 weeks, sometime you're gonna go to clothing issue, and this is where you're gonna get your OCPs, your blues, all those things. So you're going to be there for pretty much the entire day, one day, getting fitted for everything. And then after that is when you're going to start actually wearing your OCPs, because for the first few weeks in BMT, when you don't have OCPs, you're just wearing PT gear everywhere. And it's obvious that you just got to BMT because you're wearing your PT gear and your OCP hat. So you're gonna look pretty crazy. And also week 3 is just a ton of same thing, marching classes and things like that. They kind of knock those out during the first couple of weeks. And then the biggest thing on week 3 is you have another PT test. So you're gonna have 3 PT tests in BMT. You're gonna have a week 1, a week 3, and a week 5 appraisal. Week 1 is kind of initial PT test, to kind of see like where you're at, how you're doing. Week 3 is to see if you are improving, if you're getting better. Week 5 is the test that you need to actually graduate BMT, and that's the most important one. The other 2 don't count. It's just kind of to see where you're at. But if you do not pass the week 5 PT test, you have 2 or 3 chances before you graduate to take another test and try to pass that. If you do not pass after your 2 or 3 chances, you do get recycled. But don't think after you fail your first PT test, you're instantly gonna get recycled and held back. They want you to graduate on time, and it's difficult when you get recycled. So don't stress about your PT test. All right, now let's get into week 4, because week 2 and 3 are basically the same things. You're just going to march all day, going to class all day, and doing PT a couple hours of the day. So week 4 is when things got a little bit more fun. We started doing more things. Week 4 is the week that we went to CADM, which is the gun range. So this is not correct on here. It doesn't have the schedule of CADM, Seaburn, Pacer Forge, all those things. It's not in the correct spot. So I'm going to tell you how it really happened for me. So week 4, we went to CADM. It was pretty fun. The beginning of the day, we basically just learned how to properly hold a weapon, shoot a weapon, things like that. And then the end of the day was us actually going to the gun range and actually shooting our weapon. So I know for CADM, there's a certain number of points that you have to get to pass. I don't know the exact number. I think you need at least 12 or 13 to pass. And then if you want marksman, which is another ribbon that you get, you need, I think, 22. So I had 19 points. No one failed. If you think you're going to be extremely horrible at it, it's not that hard. It's going to be pretty easy, and it's going to be a pretty fun day. I will say when we were shooting them, I was absolutely terrified. Not because I was scared, I didn't know what to do, but because I did not trust some people in my flight with a live weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to the gun range before, you know, pew pew, whatever, but they really trust these people, you know, after like 6 hours of being taught how to hold a weapon, you know, to go out there and shoot. So I was kind of scared for my life, but it was fine. There was plenty of people out there to help us and show us. And I mean, the day was fun. Any day that you're outside of your squadron is very fun. Another thing that it says you're gonna do week 4 is your flight and individual photos. This was also a super fun thing because for girls, we got to like do our makeup and get cute and everything. I mean, we did get like 2 minutes to do our makeup, but like we got to do our makeup for the first time in BMT, and we marched over and we took our big flight picture, and then we took our individual blues pictures. So it was super fun. When we were inside taking our individual blues pictures, our MTIs weren't in there with us yelling at us. How it really was we had our blues tops and stuff on, and it was like OCP pants, and we just took the little picture, and everyone I remember was hyping each other up and like, okay, hold on, a little bit more to your left. But like we were like, it was a fun day. Everyone remembers their BMT picture and probably still has their BMT picture, so that was a really fun day for me. All right, so now let's get into week 5. Week 5 is very eventful, but before we get into week 5, I just remembered that we did the gas chamber on week 4 and we did CADM on week 5. So everything I just said about CADM, imagine doing that week 5. So now I'm gonna get into the gas chamber, which was week 4 actually. So the gas chamber is a day you're never going to forget. It's something everyone looks forward to and knows it's gonna happen in BMT, and that day was definitely very eventful. So the whole day is actually not the gas chamber. You're in the gas chamber for maybe 2 minutes tops. The whole day is your Seaburn training. So Seaburn stands for chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear training. So you're going to be trying on your MOP gear, you're going to be going to the gas chamber, and you're going to be sitting through a lot of presentations and briefings and things you need to know about Seaburn. So the actual gas chamber, what's going to happen is before you go, you are going to try on your gas mask, and you're going to get it properly fitted to your face because you want it to fit right when you get in the gas chamber. And then everyone is going to get into groups of people, and then one group is going to go at one time. So of course, I got stuck with the very last group, so we got the worst of the worst. And how it works, if your group is about to go next, you stand outside the gas chamber and you put your gas mask on. When the other group is done, your group goes in, and then you all line up around the room. So when you get in there, there's 2 people in the middle, and there's literally a frying pan, and they're gonna open up this little tablet and it's gonna disperse the gas into the air. So the gas that they're releasing into the air, it resembles tear gas. So obviously nothing that's lethal or gonna seriously injure you. Is kind of just like pepper spray, tear gas, things like that. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna slowly make you start taking off your gas mask, and then they're gonna make you completely take off your gas mask, and they're gonna make you say your reporting statement. So every single person in the room has to say their reporting statement before you leave. So pray that you get stuck with a group of people that says their reporting statement so you can get out of there. So your gas mask is off. Don't take a deep breath in, okay? That's what I did. For some reason, I went in there and I was like, don't do that. Take the smallest breath that you can and try to say your reporting statement. Sergeant Training, your report says order. And then you guys just go out there, and when you're outside of the gas chamber, there's a photographer there taking pictures of you guys. And yeah, it's funny to look back on, but at that time, I was horrified. I was so mad at the Air Force. I was so mad that I signed up for this. I can't believe I signed up for this. I can't believe they made me do this. Like, I was crying like a little baby, but now looking back at it, it was so fun. It was such a fun day. I can say I did it. Like, it was awesome. I feel like the part of the day that I disliked the most was probably putting on mop gear. You know, if you know, you know. Mop gear is very hot. It's miserable. It's great that I know how to put it on now, but that part of the day was just not fun. It just really wasn't fun. So continuing on with week 5, you're gonna have a lot of progress checks in week 5 because you need a lot of progress checks to graduate BMT. So you're gonna have your weapons progress check, which is basically them making sure you know how to disassemble and reassemble your weapon. You're gonna have a drill progress check, so they're gonna check that you know how to do basic things like right face, left face, about face, all those type of drill movements. They're gonna do your open ranks progress checks, like check your blues, check your OCPs, and then like I said, week 5 is your final PT test. And then the last thing about week 5 is TCCC. So TCCC stands for Tactical Combat Casualty Care, and it's basically all of your basic life-saving skills if you're in a tactical deployment zone. So you're gonna learn how to do things like put on tourniquets, how to properly dress a wound. So that's pretty much it for week 5. You're doing a ton of progress checks, you're doing your final PT test, you're really preparing for graduation, you're getting all your tests out the way, and then you have week 6. So week 6 is Pacer Forge. Pacer Forge is a new version of Beast. They no longer have Beast Week anymore. Beast is non-existent. It's a new thing called Pacer Forge. And basically it's 2 days where you go out into this environment where there's like tents set up and you're like on a campsite, and it's basically a fake deployment zone. So throughout Pacer Forge, they do like little alarm simulations, so like alarm yellow, alarm red, all those type of things. You try on your mop gear. For us, they woke us up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and had an alarm yellow, and we had to wear our mop gear, and that's basically all it is. For the first day, you're just doing all those fake scenarios and tests, and then you stay there overnight. And then the second day is the fun day, in my opinion, because the second day is when you get to do like all the obstacle courses and things. And the obstacle courses were really fun. Like our MTIs were laughing with us. They were like letting us race each other. Like we had a good time with it. The worst part of it was walking around with like all of our equipment on. I mean, that definitely sucked, but the actual obstacle courses were very fun. We got to like hold our rifle and like drag our face in the sand. Yeah, it was fun. And then we went back to our squadron after those 2 days of being there. A lot of people hate Pacer Forge, and it's very understandable. When I was there, I was extremely miserable because I hate being outside. I hate nature. I hated all of the weight and all the stuff we had to carry, but I don't know. I think looking back, like I said, it was fun. Everything about BMT is like, it's the most fun that you never want to have again. It was miserable when it was going on. Now that I look back on it, it was so much fun, but I don't want to be in that situation again. And then also during week 6, you have your EOC. Your EOC is your end of course exam. All throughout BMT, all of those classes that you took, everything that you learned throughout BMT, you're gonna have a huge test at the end. It's not gonna be hard, don't worry about it. It's very rare for people to fail that test. I don't think anyone in my flight failed, so don't stress yourself out about it. You're gonna have plenty of time to study in BMT. You're gonna have plenty of time on Sundays and other days where you're gonna have downtime where you can actually study and prepare yourself for the EOC. So I would not stress out about it. Just know it's gonna happen in week 6. And then we have week 7, the best week of BMT, because you get to leave. You don't get to go home because you gotta go to tech school, but you get to leave. This is the week you're gonna see your family, you're gonna have your coin ceremony, your graduation, and you're gonna get shipped off to tech school. So this is the best week of BMT. Graduation is on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Very weird that it's not on a Saturday or Sunday, but that's just how it is. So go ahead and tell your families that your graduation is gonna be on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Wednesday is the coin ceremony and the airman's run. So you're gonna wake up in the morning bright and early, put on your PT gear, and you're gonna do this thing called the airman's run, where you basically run a couple laps around the PRC, and everyone's cheering for you and holding up signs for everybody and just like hyping you up, and you're running with your flight and you're chanting all your bulldog chants or whatever squadron you are, and it's a great fun time. And then you go back, you run back to your dorm, you're gonna shower, change, get in your blues, and then you're gonna have your coin ceremony. Your coin ceremony is where you get your airman's coin. It's a very, very beautiful ceremony, and I loved every second of it. I was crying the entire time, but it was an amazing ceremony. And then of course, after the ceremony is when your family can tap you out, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it. It's like the best part of BMT. Like, all of your hard work pays off and you get to see your family, and it's truly a beautiful ceremony. And then you get to have a town pass. You get to go out and explore San Antonio, and then you have to come back for curfew that night. And then Thursday you wake up for your graduation parade. So you're gonna be practicing for graduation like every week of BMT. You're gonna have one night where you just practice your parade. So it's basically you just do a parade around the parade field, your family taps you out, and then you get a base pass and you spend the day around Lackland, and then you tell your families goodbye, go back to your dorm for curfew, you go to sleep, and you wake up the next day for tech school. So that is it. That is the complete rest of BMT. If you have any questions about BMT, if you have any questions on anything that I said or anything that I did not cover in this video that you're confused about or have questions about, just please comment and let me know. If you're about to go to BMT, good luck to you. If you're thinking about joining the Air Force, just do it. BMT is only 7.5 weeks of your life, and then you're back to normal. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.